So, Division 1, A final. Ludwig Hunsbedt on pole. Alongside him, Ivan Eklund in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. That's Lasse Solstrom. And a sideways look at the grid reveals a couple of Toyotas side by side there. Here's Arthur to call it for.
Hunsbedt it is, who is the early leader away from pole. Hunsbedt leads this one. Eklund comes into second place. Solstrom is in third, under dispute though with Kuipers. Kuipers coming up into third, I think. Yes, Kuipers getting into third place. The Toyota's at the back of the order at the moment. And as they come away, it's Solstrom dropping back as he gets a big shunt there from Carlson. Carlson, I think it was, who hit Lasse Solstrom. And Solstrom drops to the tail end of the order and rejoins. It pays him to keep going because you never know who else is going to drop out. So let's hope he can keep going. And he's faced with Eklund coming in the opposite direction. So off camera, Eklund has had a problem as well. So who is in the lead of this one? Now it's Ludwig Hunsbedt. Kuipers is in the second place. There comes Gundersvan. Carlson is fourth. So already this is becoming a bit of a race of attrition. And we have Ludwig Hunsbedt leading this one from Jos Kuipers. Gundersvan in third place, Ingvar Carlson fourth. There is Eklund standing beside the track. I wouldn't think he's a very happy man. Oh, and the car is right in the middle of the circuit now. Are they going to allow the race to continue? Well, it certainly seems as though they are. Remember, this is a final. We're not worried too much about times in this one. If this was a timed qualifying heat, I think that race would have been stopped. But meantime, the leaders coming on their way. And now you can see Kuipers has destroyed his front suspension and steering. So Kuipers is out of this one. There's a pigeon-toed Mitsubishi coming towards us there. And there is our race leader. Well, there are not many of them left now. The two Toyotas coming through, with Carlson still there in a third place. A bit of a race of attrition, Peter, but it looks as though Hunsbedt's going to take it.
Yeah, fairly extraordinary leaving Eklund's car out there. I wonder if he was just angry about something and parked it there, hoping they'd restart the race.
It has happened in the past. It has happened in the past, but the organisers are not going to be swayed by that.
And it would have been interesting, of course, if Kuipers had managed to keep going and given Hunsbedt a run for his money. With Eklund out of it, it would have made quite a difference.
Yes, my mind goes back to Finland a few years ago when another driver parked his car in the circuit, but I'm not going to mention too much about that because that's all history. Some people will know who I'm talking about, won't they? But there is indeed Ludwig Hunsbedt coming through. Ludwig Hunsbedt with maybe Gundersvan getting a little bit closer to him. And there, whoops-a-daisy, there we go, past Eklund's parked car. Carlson closing in a bit in third place. So Ludwig Hunsbedt, he's going to take what perhaps will be his first true victory of the year. He won in Austria, only to be excluded. He won in the Netherlands after Kuipers was excluded. But this is going to be, I think, a true victory for the man from Norway. But if Gundersvan can do anything about it, Gundersvan is trying as they come to the flag, but he can't do it. And it is indeed Hunsbedt who takes it.
Well, I think Gundersvan has been taking magic pills or something. He won the B final. He very nearly won that A final. So good performance from him after a rather strange start, actually. If you have a look at the order then, Eklund still up there ahead of Svan and Kuipers in third position. Well, this is the big one. Martin Schanche looking fairly relaxed there. This is Tommy Christopherson. He's had a great weekend. Michael Jernberg, Jean-Luc Payet, and then making up the rear of the grid, dear old Kenneth Hansen. What an appalling weekend he's had, but he's on the back row of the grid there. And alongside him is Per Eklund. Arthur.
Yeah, Per Eklund with that long steering column in the Subaru Impreza, but it's Martin Schanche getting away. Martin Schanche going into an early lead. This could be his fourth consecutive victory. Tommy Christopherson in second place. Jean-Luc Payet running over his front spoiler there. He's in troubles already, but it's Martin Schanche leading it from Tommy Christopherson. Up into third place has come Michael Jernberg. Fourth place is Kenneth Hansen. So Jean-Luc is out of the race effectively now. He can no longer do anything to help Kenneth Hansen. It's all down to see what Kenneth can do himself. He's got to really get into the top two if he's going to score points. He's up into third. Kenneth is into third place. Now will Tommy Christopherson allow Kenneth to come up into second place? I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it. They're all still very close together, headed by Martin Schanche, Tommy Christopherson, Kenneth Hansen, Michael Jernberg and Per Eklund, all five cars in together. It's Ford, Audi, they go past the dead car there of Jean-Luc, and it's Ford leading of Martin Schanche, the Audi of Tommy Christopherson, the Citroen of Kenneth Hansen, the Escort of Michael Jernberg and the Impreza of Per Eklund. But it's still Martin Schanche with the advantage as they come back towards us. Kenneth is in third place behind Tommy Christopherson as they come down this tight right-hander. Oh, and Eklund had come through into fourth place and he's thumped Hansen. He has thumped Hansen effectively out of this race. Jernberg comes through in third, and there are really only three cars running now effectively. And there you can see Kenneth Hansen getting away again, but oh, look at that. Now, was that self-inflicted by Per Eklund, I wonder? This is Kenneth Hansen on his way. He's down in 4th place, Peter, but I don't think he's going to get any points out of this one.
Well, I was looking at that quite carefully, and Hansen looked okay. He was well clear of Kristoffersen. Per Eklund came past Jernberg and had so much power on, no way he could have stopped. He was very tight on the inside there and just took Hansen straight out, and I should think there'll be some questions asked about that later.
I would think there probably will be. But in the meantime, it's Martin Schanche, as I said, on his way to his 4th consecutive victory this year, and maybe his 5th European Championship title. Yellow flag's being waved there because of Jean-Luc Zantia. And Tommy Kristoffersen really having the race of the year. This is the best result we've seen from Tommy Kristoffersen in a long, long time. And Martin Schanche is not getting away from them. Tommy is hanging on brilliantly there. And I have to say once again, I hope you get me tired of saying this, but once again, a brilliant away from Michael Jernberg there in 3rd place. Kenneth Hansen can only sit there in 4th and hope and pray that one of these 3, or maybe all of these 3 lead cars would fall by the wayside. I don't think it's going to happen. But Tommy Kristoffersen really trying to help his fellow countrymen now, because he can help Kenneth Hansen if he can get past Martin Schanche. That would, of course, help them no end. But the 2 Swedes really hounding the Norwegian. But Martin Schanche, I think, is very much in charge of this one. And I think those yellow flags are causing them to bunch up once again. No overtaking, of course, under the yellow flag, and they bunch right up under the yellows there, which is keeping this race tight up at the front. Just 3 cars effectively in it now, but Martin Schanche it is getting away a bit now as Michael Jernberg gets in that smoke stream, shall we say, of the Audi of Tommy Kristoffersen. But I think Tommy, even if he doesn't win this one, is going to be absolutely delighted to be on the podium at the end of it all. Michael Jernberg hanging on in 3rd as they go to the flag, but Martin Schanche wins it.
Well, what a race. The circuit out there looks like a scene from Mad Max, with broken down cars smoking. It looks as if they've all been burnt out. So here we go with the results. Martin Schanche ahead of smiling Tommy Kristoffersen, Michael Jernberg 3rd, Hansen hanging on to 4th. So how does that affect the leaderboard? Well, Kenneth Hansen has got to win the next 2 races. Now then, what about Schanche?
It was as safe as I could go, because there's potholes there. We could lose a minute in them, and I didn't want to land in them potholes and buy myself a puncture, and which we've had. I mean, touch wood, I haven't had any punctures today, only because I've been driving careful.
Well done. Congratulations. The championship's not over yet, then?
No, it's not over, but it comes closer my way. Closer my way.
Good.
All right.
Rallycross magazine was brought to you on Eurosport by Clarion, Car Audio and beyond.